Hi guys, it's Kate Roundtree here, one of the two dietitians at Lafayette General's Bariatric Program. And we're starting to do some videos, just little educational videos to teach you guys different aspects between nutrition, exercise, behavioral health to help you in your journey towards weight loss and health gains. So today I'm going to talk about a nutrition label. So as you guys may have seen or will be seeing, if you haven't already, there are some new nutrition label modifications that are going to be coming out. The USDA presented them in 2017, and food manufacturers of a certain production amount have until mid-year of 2018 to comply with the new changes. And in my opinion, they're very positive changes. There's been some additions, some revisions, and so I'm gonna go through the entire label with you today, but I'm gonna highlight the new changes for those that are routinely reading their labels. So first and foremost, obviously we always need to start with the serving size. And one thing that you'll notice is that in the new labels, the serving size, the font is actually larger and it's bolded. And you can see how much bigger and presentable it is when reading that label. So as you see here, the serving size for this particular product is 2/3 of a cup. In addition to that, they're gonna let you know how many servings per container are in that. So how many 2/3 of a cup servings are in the entire box, bag, whatever packaging it's packaged with. So from there, you'll notice that all of these numbers and these numbers here are going to be representative of this serving size. So if I eat 2/3 of a cup, how many calories, how much fat, cholesterol, and so forth are in that 2/3 of a cup serving. So for this one, you'll see here that 230 calories are in this particular product for 2/3 of a cup. Then you'll see here, and I'll kind of zoom in so you can see better the numbers. There's about 8 grams of total fat. Now, saturated fat and trans fats are actually subgroupings of the total. There's also something that's called unsaturated fat, which is actually a really healthy fat for your heart. But this particular product didn't have any unsaturated fat. It probably makes it not such a great choice. But you'll see here, of the total 8 grams of fat, there's 1 gram of saturated and 0 grams of trans fats. In the real world, to live absolutely saturated fat-free is quite difficult unless you live a vegan lifestyle. So to have a little bit of saturated fat in your diet is not terrible, although it is kind of a poor choice for heart health. We're going to have a negligible amount even when eating very healthy. But trans fats, on the other hand, are typically derived from it's sort of a man-made fat, and it originally was used back in World War II. It's actually when there were food rations in place, and they created margarine using some trans fats. It extends the shelf life of a product, makes some fats a little bit more spreadable, but it is detrimental for your heart. So if we can truly keep this number 0, that is going to be our goal for heart health. Then you'll see your cholesterol. That's going to be measured in milligrams. Sodium also in milligrams. And then here, this is going to be a major difference. On your total carbohydrates, similarly to your total fat, there's some subgroupings. On the old labels, the only subgrouping that was listed was dietary fiber and total sugars. Now, if this was a product that had natural sugars occurring in it, for instance, if it was a fruit or if it was a dairy product, a gallon of milk, we know that in that 1% gallon of regular milk, they have not added any sugar to it. But a cup of milk, of traditional 1% milk, is going to have 12 grams of sugar. This is sugar straight out of the cow. There's nothing that we can do to remove that out of dairy. Similarly with an apple or any other type of fruit. So the total sugars would be those that are added and naturally occurring. So the change now is that this new label revision includes the added sugar amount. So for instance, if it's traditional white milk that's had a chocolate flavoring added to it in the form of a syrup, not only are we going to have natural sugars, but we're going to have some added sugars from that chocolate syrup. So you want to be very aware of that, and you really want to hone in and limit those added sugars. They're going to be in everything from cereals to oatmeal to even our fruits that are packed in syrup to dairy products. I think you'll be quite surprised when you really start seeing this at some of the products that have a good bit of added sugars. Then, of course, our protein. There's been no change on protein there. And then what you'll see with the micronutrients is that vitamin D has been added, as well as potassium. And that is strictly because of the prevalence of vitamin D deficiency that Americans have been experiencing, as well as the prevalence of kidney disease. And with kidney disease, we really have to monitor potassium intake. So those are direct changes as a result of health changes that are occurring with Americans today. So when you're reading this label, what I want you to really focus in on, because it's a lot of information and it's hard to figure out where do I need to really put my attention. One easy, quick reference are these percentages. So general rule of thumb, if it's 5% or more of that particular nutrient, it's considered, 5% or less, it's considered a low source of that nutrient. So for instance, this has 5% of saturated fat. So we can consider this to be a low source of saturated fat. But if it's 20% or higher, it's considered to be a high source of that particular nutrient. So for instance, this has 20% of added sugar. That's a pretty large amount. So we may not want to buy this. So these are easy, quick references. Now, you want to know what you're looking at, though. So, for instance, this product also has 14% fiber. That's a pretty good amount. But we're going to want to try to find a good fiber source without all the added sugar. So that's my spiel for today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me or give us a call at the office, and I'll be happy to answer anything that you need. Thanks so much. Have a great day.